Hey, what's happening, folks? It's your boy NaptownBorn. I'm here to do, I was going to do two separate videos on it, but piss on it anyway. Cristobal Arreola versus Thomas Adamek, and then Kessler versus Froch. I'm going to go ahead and get down to, I'm going to get down to Adamek versus Arreola first. Okay, Adamek, who is rightfully considered a smaller heavyweight with decent boxing skills and a decent punch. Now, whether or not he's going to carry that power up to him with heavyweight, we really don't know yet. Now, he's had two fights at heavyweight, Galata and Estrada, Jason Estrada. Yes. Neither which are really telling fights. I mean, you're talking about Andrew Galata, right? You're talking about the guy who walked out on the Tyson fight, right? And my memory serves me right. That is the same dude. He's been around for a long fucking time. He's really fucking old. You know, but that fight was what it was for the purpose. You know, it served its purpose, you know. As far as Estrada, maybe there's a little bit of controversy to that fight, but I really think Adamek won, and I think he rightfully won. You know, I think it was fairly close, but he rightfully won. So he put on a display of boxing skill, but I think Estrada was a little bit, you know, more technically sound than Adamek, maybe at least that night. But Adamek was willing to get in there and willing to really take. You know, he really brought the fight, and I appreciate that. But as far as that's the only two fights I've seen him in, because when it comes to heavyweight, if you're talking about a heavyweight fight, I'm not really trying to look at David Hayes' cruiserweight fights or Adamek's cruiserweight fights or his fight with Dawson or anything like that. I'm not trying to look at it, because it's a whole different ball game when you jump into heavyweight. Now, Chris Arreola is not a huge not a huge heavyweight. He's not Klitschko's, okay? He's not Valuev. He's not a big fucking monster. He's usually a bit overweight. He comes in with some good skills, poor defense, and a very, very, very hard punch. Okay, he can put combinations together, and he doesn't get tired. All right, this is a guy with good stamina. Now, Adamek, I don't think he's going to get tired per se either. What I think is going to happen is for the first 4 or 5 rounds. Now, I know this sounds like a lot of my predictions, but in boxing, when shit like this happens, a lot of it is the same, because you're trying to test people here. This is a test for Arreola as much as it's a test for Adamek. And for people who think that it's not a test for Arreola, they need to rethink Arreola's situation. If you know what I mean. We all see how Vitaly just put it to him. But Adamek is no Vitaly. He's not got the size. He's not got the technical efficiency of a Klitschko. Anyway, all the bullshit aside, Arreola's going to come in looking a little bit overweight. I listened to the Leave It in the Ring radio show where said he was going to come in low 40s, maybe even 240. If he does, I hope so. I hope that's the case. He's got a history of disappointment, but I hope that's the case. I think Adamek will be outsized, and with Arreola, who's not going to get tired, it's going to wear on him. I mean, he's basically going to be fighting a wall. It's true. He's basically going to be fighting a wall. He's going to be getting his shots in on Arreola, but I don't think Adamek has the power to put Arreola away. And Arreola is going to be trading with him at the same time. And Arreola is the bigger guy. I think he's just going to impose himself more. And I think it will go past the midway point, past the 6th or 7th round, but I think we're looking at like an 8th round knockout for Chris Arreola. Yeah, I think that sounds about right. Now, this being a test, it is a test. For me, there's a lot of X factors with Adamek. I only know the 2 heavyweight fights. So I could be totally misjudging this fight. Now, remember, Arreola against Brian Minto kind of looked like shit until he put it on Minto and put him and made the fight over with. Now, Minto won some rounds, in my opinion. He was clearly hitting Arreola. That's why I say Arreola has poor defense. Now, if Adamek can stay away from Arreola while getting shots in at the same time and do that for 12 rounds, he can win this fight. I just don't think he can, because I don't think Chris will let that happen. You understand me? Chris will bring the fight to him. Arreola will bring the fight to him. He's going to force a firefight, and Adamek will willingly participate because he looks like he's the type, from what I've seen, to willingly participate in spots. Now, if Adamek pits his spots right, doesn't leave himself in a corner, doesn't leave himself against the ropes, he may be able to slide out. He may be able to trade a little bit and then slide right back out. Maybe. I doubt it. We all know Travis Walker dropped Arreola. So if Adamek has hidden power that we don't know of yet, those clean shots that he will land on Arreola. Arreola will be getting hit and flush by Adamek's shots early on. He could drop Arreola. It could happen if Adamek has the power. I don't think he does. So I'm looking at Chris Arreola, 8th round knockout. Now, as far as Kessler and Froch, now I know a lot of UK guys. Now I'm not going to single anyone out. I'm just going to say a lot because I've got the comments. You know, you can check my pages. I've got the comments. Y'all know my feelings about Carl Froch. I think he's a piss poor boxer. Okay, a lot of people see certain things, see a slickness to him a little bit. I don't see that. I think he's slow. I think he's sluggish. I think he's just a come forward pressure fighter who has a good jab and makes him look like a good boxer sometimes. Pascal was a close fight. He skimmed that one. But you could have made a case for Pascal. I think Froch won. Could have made the case for Pascal. He skimmed Taylor. Do not believe that he did not skim Taylor. He was losing that fight until the last 30 seconds of that fight when he knocked Taylor out. All that says really is Froch is dangerous from round 1 to round 12, but his boxing skills are kind of crap. Okay? They're just kind of crap. I believe he lost the Durrell fight. I think he got a hometown decision there. So, you know, against somebody who can outbox him, he has a rough time. Now, Kessler's weakness is obviously his inside game and whether or not he's going to be able to handle roughhouse tactics, because looking at Carl Froch versus Andre Durrell, Carl Froch can bring roughhouse tactics to the floor if it's needed, and I think he likes it. You know, if anything, Carl Froch has a boxing attitude. If he's not necessarily a good boxer as far as technical skills are concerned, he has a good boxing attitude, and he's not deterred by anybody saying he's going to lose this or he's not good at this. He's not deterred by anybody like me saying he can't do something. He's a real fighter. If anything, he's a real fighter. Now, Kessler's, like I said, his obvious weakness is his inside game, as we saw against Ward, but this is not Andre Ward coming to fight tonight. This is not Andre Ward at all. Andre Ward was a smaller, quicker, better, mover. He got in, they're not necessarily clean boxing tactics, and again, if you see my videos, or if not, you can go back and check my thoughts on the fight. I caught a lot of flack because, number one, to me, Mikkel Kessler did not look like he was in true form for that fight against Andre Ward, but he also admitted that he wasn't used to it. So even if he was in true form, he might have still lost the decision anyway. But remember, all the blood that was on Kessler's face, none of it was caused by a punch. Remember that. It was a totally different fight. I see this going more like Jean Pascal versus Carl Froch, with Mikkel Kessler actually being better than Pascal and taking this fight to a pretty easy unanimous decision. There's going to be firefights in here. It's going to be exciting to watch. It will be, because of the two guys' styles. They kind of mash well to make for an exciting looking fight. But at the end of the day, as the end bell rings for each round, I think you're going to see Kessler having an edge each and every round as the fight goes on. Froch will win some here and there, but it could either be a unanimous decision pretty easily for Kessler, but I'm going to go with an 11th round knockout for Mikkel Kessler, because I think Kessler has enough power in his punch to put Froch away, or at least get a TKO where the ref stops the fight. Remember, this is in Denmark, in Kessler's backyard, and Kessler is one of the masters. If anything, he's a master at keeping distance and it could go like the Andrade fight where he's just going to embarrass Froch. NaptownBorn, deuces.